Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Everyman podcast. Now, tonight we have no guests. We're having just a general catch up with the boys. But a few guests cancel or postpone over the last couple of weeks who will be coming back on, which is great to see. So we thought tonight would be a nice chance to get together. We haven't caught up as a group for a while. How are you both doing tonight, James and Dean?
Yeah, all right, mate. Bit tired with work and everything around the house. To be honest, life seems non-stop at the moment, but yeah, it's going well. Feeling good. Uh, yeah. How about you, Dean?
I sound a little bit hungover today. Had a big day out on the drink yesterday after football. Um, didn't go to bed till pretty late, and then probably didn't drink as much water as I should have either. Um, so this morning my head was absolutely splitting. Um, and then now I've got to, after the podcast, go and get me car, which I parked halfway across Newcastle. So I'm looking forward to
What are you
doing
going
that
to
with
do?
the
How are you
dog.
going to get there?
Just going to walk to the metro and then get the metro to Shields and then walk from the metro to my car and then just drive back. Take the dog and then he'll get his walk as well at the same time. What about you all weekend, Lou?
Some effort. No, it was good. I think we probably have to talk more about the fact that you went out all day, though. Like, that's more impressive than I came out for some of it. I don't know if I had maybe like 5 pints, I think, and I felt pissed in the afternoon. So the fact that you probably had 10, 11, fair play. Did you get up and go to work today?
Yeah. I'm just thinking though, like, because obviously my missus is away, so I'm thinking I'm just going to enjoy it and then I'm probably going to do a bit of time off the drink again. Because I do enjoy it at the time, but I don't look forward to it. And then you regret it afterwards as well. Like,
So you
I
mean when she's
balloon up
back?
as soon as I.
You've already. You mean
Yeah,
when she's
yeah.
back? You've already planned to go out this coming Sunday already.
Yeah, well, she was away for 3 more weeks. So I've still got 3 more weeks of drinking, so that's sound. But I balloon up when I drink. Me, like I look swollen. Like when I look in the mirror, and then I look so
Mm.
different to how I look on like say the Friday or something like that. But I had a big weekend this weekend before going to Blackpool to play football as well.
Hmm.
So it was like 2 nights on the drink for me this week. I'm looking forward to Sunday though.
It's heavy, right? That's heavy
Very.
though. Doing 2 nights. I couldn't do 2 nights now.
No, especially playing football after one
It's
of
not
them.
worth it. Yeah. James, did your, because I know I was with you on Saturday morning, which was great. We had the whole, you got to be uncle to your two nephews, obviously mine and Logan's, which was great.
Yeah.
We managed to get a cheeky pint in on the Saturday morning. Well, probably Saturday afternoon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you continue drinking? I know the plan was for you to be out drinking in drinking with Logan on the night.
Yeah, it was a good night actually. So we went back to Logan's. It was just me and him in the garage throwing some darts. Brought the TV in at the garage, so we were watching like the footy and that as well. Even added bonus seeing
Yeah.
Newcastle get absolutely whooped. That was class. And we were just having a good time, really. It was just like a proper because we got all the tools out as well because the dartboard wasn't like flush to the wall. It was like kind of like on an angle. So he got
Yeah.
this. He's got a drill, put a drill through some cardboard into the wall just to wedge it. We did not need to do that at all. Like it was just like
Were you pissed
two
when you decided to
stupid
do that?
drunken. Oh yeah, absolutely. Just two stupid drunken lads just messing around with tools in the garage. It was class to be fair. Yeah, it was really good.
No, yeah, I was saying to Dean, we'll have to sort it one time where we both come down and we have a darts night at yours or something because I think that'd be good
Absolutely.
crack.
He's got a place to stay as well, so you're more than welcome anytime.
Yeah,
Just
obviously
whenever
me
we
and
don't have
Dean
a
will
game
just
on
be
the football, isn't
spooning.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not gonna. We probably haven't got a game for a while. In a while soon. Like we've pretty much played most of our games, haven't we? So probably not a million miles
yeah.
away from a free week.
But even if you could come like like midday on the Saturday or something, and then get the last train home or something like that as well.
I don't know. It'd be rough on the when I play football the day after though. Like I don't even
Yeah,
have one
Oh
pint
yeah,
on a Saturday.
yeah, I
respect
couldn't
that.
do it
Like,
either. Yeah, I
nah,
couldn't
we'll
do it.
find we'll figure something out. Like,
Yeah, no, we can sort it out. So, to answer your question, Dean, I had a really good weekend actually. I was off Friday and Monday, which was good. So I've had a bit of a longer one. I felt tired today though, probably similar to you. And then I got to see family over the weekend, which was lovely. We obviously won in the football, which was great. Ignore the Newcastle result, which was crap. We went for food on Saturday night as well, didn't we? Which was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Pretty chilled weekend. So yeah, very happy. So I've got a few things for us to talk about tonight. Some random ones, some fairly funny ones, and yeah, let's go through it. So we're going to kick the podcast off in a really serious topic, which neither of you have any clue whatsoever because I've sent no pre-readout at all. If so, I presume you both like sci-fi films, right? Like
Yeah,
Aye.
End of the World, like that type of stuff.
yeah.
So the siren has just gone off right now. Zombies are attacking. Dean, you're going to go first because I feel like you've watched lots of these films. You're probably the biggest movie buff that I know. What is your zombie apocalypse plan? You've got the siren has literally just gone off now. What are you doing?
I think we're fucked in this country. Like you're all right in America because there's guns and all
Let's
that, but
go.
like here, like there's nothing. I remember like I used to be I used to be in air cadets when I was younger, and at the at the squadron in War's End, I know there's like some guns, but they're like single shot like things you would be absolutely. I always thought about that actually. Like we'd have to break into there and get the guns, but I think you'd be if it was zombie apocalypse, you'd be knackered. Um, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. You watch the videos of the people going out and like trying to survive in the wilderness. I follow a few
I've
people
always fancied
on
that.
YouTube and that. Yeah, there's a guy Field Days on YouTube. I was banging to on during COVID. Watching a lot of his videos and stuff, and I thought that was quite interesting. I'd like to just give it a go, just to try. I've seen a couple of ones like the young Asian lads as well who do the dig stuff with and make like these big mud huts
Oh,
and
in
stuff.
like
And it
Thailand and
Oh,
looks,
stuff.
yeah.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like it's all like what time lapsed, and it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And you think, but I just never have the.
And they do it with
I don't
one
really.
stick. They do it with
Yeah,
one stick.
I know, I know. And they get water like from like miles away from the stream to come to. That's mental. Yeah, but I'd love to give that a go. But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of like camping and stuff like that either. So, like, I'd like to try it, but
But in a
So
hotel.
you're saying the zombies are here, and you'd leave your nice warm house to go into the unprotected woods when there's zombies about.
With a stick.
Just one stick.
you
with
just
a
gotta get.
GoPro.
I think you're definitely 100% safer being out in the middle of nowhere than you are staying in like Killingworth if it's a zombie apocalypse. Because like it's built up area, there's loads of people. Like if you manage to get away, there's not as many people out in the borders of Scotland as there is in Newcastle city centre.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good thing. So your plan would be to get out into the wilderness somewhere.
And then what?
How are you going to survive? Exactly. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'd probably just kill myself, to be honest. I couldn't be dealing with it, me. That's really bad to say. But like, I just think I would just be delaying the inevitable. Like, I just kind of deal with the thought of like the painful death of being ripped apart by zombies. Nah, no thanks. No thanks at all.
So James, it's a bit of a stretch here, but we're going to say that you're the military one out of us. Obviously, you were in the RAF, so we'll not give you too much props on that one.
Yeah,
You're
barely.
like the half military out of us. What would you do?
I'd just stay in my house, me. I'd go.
This
I'd,
is shit.
I'd pop.
This is
I'd
Play
go.
dots.
I'd go to the bar. I'd bring the dartboard and the beers in, and then just lock the doors and windows. And
Is that
then
it?
And then what?
I'd have a class time because I'd have all the bottles as well. Like I would smash them once I'd finished them, and then I'd use them as like a fence. I got a fence in the back garden as well. I don't think zombies could climb very well.
A bottle fence. A fence made of bottles.
No, but I'd smash the glass, so I don't think it would hurt a zombie really, would it?
Yeah,
Not really.
if we're going off the concept of The Walking Dead, where they need to be shot through the head,
Yeah.
a bottle isn't really going to do much.
Nah, just border up the door and windows, and then just chill with some.
But like, how
some
much
beers in
food
the car.
and
Yeah,
how
what are
much
you going to
food
get
and
your food
drink would
for
you
all day?
have for like how long is it going to last?
We've got quite a bit in the pantry, and then when India gets annoying, I just probably scran her, and then it'll
That's
be like a
eating my
proper.
sister, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be class. I think, to be fair.
So it's safe to say you guys haven't ever really thought about this, have you?
Well, if I had time to plan and I had the money, I would build one of them underground bunkers. Do you know that the ones that are inside the kitchen islands? You just open the cupboard doors and then you go down. Definitely have a dartboard and a pool table in there, though.
Yeah. God, this is
Look.
this was a bad one. I think personally, so I would try and get in, like, do you know if you think of like a big block of flats or something, which has like a central lock point, because then you can barricade like the central lock point somewhere remotely close to a shop, so you can just go and ransack the shop, and you get all your supplies. So James, you know where I used to live in that flats, which there was a shop across the road. I always,
Yeah.
whenever I think zombie apocalypse, I always think right, a place where it's high up, so you could see if there was people outside and around and stuff. You can like barricade your main door so they can never get in, but then places where you can get to a shop and get your supplies. That's the key.
How would you get to them if you barricaded the door?
I know,
Though?
but
No,
this
because you
is
can
the thing. Like,
unbarricade it.
it depends. I'm talking short term. I think John, James was talking like medium term, and you're talking a bit long term. But like, what are you going to do after all the food runs out from the supermarket,
Hmm.
and then like after a year or something? Like,
You're gonna have
is
to
it even
start
going to last a
scavenging, aren't you?
year?
You have to start going to people's houses, doing little trips, trying to rob
Yeah,
people's
I live in
houses.
quite like the estate I live in. There's like loads of built up areas, so I reckon like a lot of the families will be dead. So I just go into their houses, and I don't think you'd run out anytime soon, if I'm honest. And I've got a Sainsbury's around the corner, and Aldi is about 10 minutes away. I think I'd be all right, mate. I'd be at least like 4 months
You
without
think you
even
could
a
do 4
sweat.
months? Well, you've got 4 months of podge to get rid of, so that's all right, actually.
That's it, man. I'd
I'll be
lose
all right for
weight.
a year.
I'd lose weight. I wouldn't. I'd have to play darts to keep my mind sane.
Yeah.
I'm just missing the pool table. Really,
You'd
I've
have
got
to.
enough
You'd have to
beer and that.
go. You'd have to run when you actually have to run away from the zombies and stuff.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fitness, man. It's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
I don't have to go
But
to
like,
work.
which I'm sure like there's a few zombie films where like they're in high-rise buildings and it doesn't work out quite so well for them.
I don't think I've ever seen
Because
them ones.
it's only one way up and one way down, isn't there?
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
But do you know when you watch them where like they take over like a military base, or the
Yeah.
prison is the big famous one on The Walking Dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you think the high-rise fences, but as soon as you get, I'm going to go full zombie terminology here, a herd. Uh, as soon as you get a herd, they can just flatten the fences, can't they? So
Yeah.
what is the answer? I think a prison's not a bad shout because they're big, thick concrete walls, aren't they?
Yeah, but then imagine zombie prisoner inmates, murderers, and rapist
I don't think it
zombies.
matters.
No,
The zombies don't rape people just because of a rapist in real life, though.
well, leopard never changes its spots.
God. This is taking a turn, isn't it? I was thinking we are going to talk about how we survive. James is talking about zombie prisons.
Raping a zombie.
Yeah. Bit
I'd be
different.
sound, mate. Honestly, don't worry about me,
What
boys.
would you not like? Is there not weapons on like some RAF place that you know of or anything like that?
Yeah,
where
but how are you
could
going to
go
get
or something?
on? You think the sirens go off? They're going to go into lockdown, aren't they? Anyone who comes close is going to shoot your brains out.
Yeah, it's true. I think the military on any zombie film is the people to avoid. They always
Yeah,
seem
they
to
just
go.
start killing the normal people, don't they?
Yeah, they always seem a bit OTT. So yeah, I would probably avoid the zombies if I'm honest. Yeah. Next question. Obviously, another very serious conversation. When you think about the things that you want to do in your life, this is actually a bit more serious. So change the conversation. The things you want to do in your life. What are a few of the things that you actually want to do that you haven't done?
Travel,
But
loads
travel
more.
what? What does travel loads more mean?
Kind of go like country hopping, but like being each. Right, so money isn't an option. Isn't an barrier.
Object.
Like yeah, an object. I've got loads of money, right? I would go to each country I want to go to, but for long enough to
But
do
what ones?
everything.
Remember, this is a podcast. People need to
I'd like
visualize
to
it,
go
James. You need to
back to
tell them.
Malaysia. Yeah, I'd like to go back to Malaysia again, but Australia, travel around America, South America, just the whole world,
Yeah, just
like
I'm just
every
going around
single
my brain.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a place that you particularly want to go?
and I've never been before. Yeah, I've never been to
Mhm.
Australia. I would like to go there.
Yeah, me
New
too.
York, like Mexico or Brazil. Yeah, a wide variety, to be honest.
So
Like
the
they're
thing
all
that you really
different.
want to do is travel more than anything.
Yeah, I think so. I'd want to see the world, make new friends, experiences.
No, just some
Ma-
friends. Make some friends.
Yeah, only some, not dead loads. I couldn't have dead loads.
You're a Mac. I might be
Yeah,
surprised if you have one.
you're just still salty about your loss, aren't you, on the weekend?
I know, but also, by the way, how come you are getting off scot-free about you got absolutely battered off Swansea's, didn't you?
I wouldn't say battered.
What was
Only
the
one
score?
I was
goal in
listening
it,
to the
wasn't it?
radio. They were like, this should be 6 or 7 nil by now.
Well, to be fair, I was kind of lucky that I was in Newcastle or on my way back from Newcastle when it was on, so I didn't get to listen to it. I think I got
It
home. It
sounds
was like half time, and then I was like, nah, I'll not be putting this on. 2-0, man.
Dean, what sort of things do you want to do?
probably the same, isn't it? It's the same for everyone. You just want to work less, travel more. Like I say, I'm useless with these sorts of questions because, like I say, I don't know what I want to do when I finish school. Like even now, thinking about if I was to leave my job soon, which is a possibility, I'll find out on Thursday. What I would be potentially wanting to do next, and I'm like, still, we've had a couple of conversations, and like, I'm like sort of flitting, like, oh yeah, I could do that, but like nothing that I'm really, really passionate about or anything
Not
like
yet.
that. Not yet, no. I think obviously sports. I'd like to do something to do with sports or something just for the rest of my life. Like that'd be ideal if I could just play
It's
football every
actually
day.
to narrow that down. What he really means is just play football every day, or darts, and get paid. That's all he means. It's not because you would hate to do something where like you were the water boy. Well, you are the lines. You're an unpaid linesman at the minute.
Actually, I pay to be linesman technically,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like.
you paid to be a linesman at the minute. Yeah, that is very true.
But now, like when I did the traveling, I went to Australia, but I got the bug for working over there because of the money I was earning. So for me, I didn't get as much chance to travel. So I think we would like to do Australia again. Um, but like more of like the traveling side of it. So funnily enough, Australia has now released like the visa where you now get 3 year visa. So someone I was speaking to at work said that if you've done 2 years, you can apply for the third. So I was thinking like, oh, that could be a bit of an idea for maybe me and Azusa could go back to Australia for another year. So
Mhm.
I don't know what she'd say about that, like, but just a sort of idea in my head. You have to do it by then you're 35 though, so we've only got 3 years to make a decision on it. But yeah, like
Could you
America,
see
just
yourself going
think
back out there?
I could. It's hard, isn't it? Because obviously we're trying for a baby and that. So if that comes along, and Azusa's doing well with all the tests that she's been for in Japan and that, so that looks promising. So I think now with there not being as much pressure on her and her thinking, we're hopeful that it'll happen now. So I think that kills all your dreams and aspirations, doesn't it?
What, having a baby?
Especially around traveling and stuff until maybe later on in life and that, yeah.
You might have to
But
stop being a
yeah,
linesman as well.
Nah, I don't think that'll happen. Like, be a referee, like you say.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe that's what you could be around sports. Maybe you could just become a semi-pro referee.
Yeah, but like £40 a game. How many? Like, I'd need to ref like 10 games a week for it to be viable. Like, Yeah, maybe.
You just thought about that and thought that could be a result there, didn't you?
That's aye.
So one thing that an update in Dean's life, you can tell us all about it. You've just bought a full gym essentially for your home, and as people can probably see, so Dean's living room now isn't actually a living room. It's got a pool table in the middle, and it has now a running machine in the middle of his living room.
So now I can't play pool because I've got a treadmill in the living room. But
Like,
that treadmill's going in there. It's going in the conservatory soon. But also, like now, I've just today been putting everything in the conservatory where it's supposed to be. Charlie, stop it. And then now, I'm realizing that maybe everything doesn't fit, or it's
no,
going to be
no
pretty
shit, Sherlock.
tight. So yeah, treadmills are actually pretty big. I didn't realize that it was as big as, even though like, because obviously I know the ones at work, at the gyms are big, but like when I read the dimensions there, it said like the running space was 40 centimeters. So I was like, oh yeah, it's not going to be too big, but I know it's massive.
And does it not fit?
Nah, it will fit, yeah, but I'll not be able to get everything that I was planning on getting in there, which is probably a good thing because she'll kick off when she comes back.
Yeah. So for everyone listening and who listens, Dean's wife has gone back to Japan for 6 weeks. Dean, you've just alluded to it, so I hope you don't mind me saying, for some
No,
of the
Tom.
tests around female fertility and because they're trying for a baby. So Dean has used this as an opportunity to spend a load of money building a gym in his house. And she's going to get a lovely surprise when she gets back, which is great.
Yes.
She's gonna see a bigger version of Dean when she gets back, a more sociable Dean who's bought a gym. And the best story that, well, it's not the best story actually, because Dean has told me some corker stories that wouldn't even get it on this podcast actually. But one of the best stories is that he pretty much convinced Azusa's wife that all British homes have a pool table in the living room, and it's part of our culture. And that's how she's agreed to let him have a pool table in the living room. Oh god, it
No,
makes me laugh
it
so
was
much.
so it was so funny. What day was it? Was it Friday when I picked? Well, Saturday was it? I picked you up and you come to my house, and I like put the TV on. But as I put the TV on, the lights behind the TV come on, and then I had the treadmill and the pool table, and you were like, "This looks like the best man cave I've ever seen." I was like, "It's my living room."
Yeah, it's
Oh,
you live in a different world to what any of us ever get to live in, which is very fun. So I'm on a
yeah.
website because, as organized as ever for the podcast,
Wait a
I
minute,
have.
Lou. What would you do? What do you want to do in life?
Oh, what do I want to do? And when I was speaking to someone earlier today, actually, I have decided that I'm just going to start being fairly successful again. Like, I've decided that I'm going to stop just letting life
Coasting.
pass me by. Yeah, coasting. Like, I'm not putting in the effort that I can do in all areas of my life to have the life I want. And it's frustrating me because I see, although I'm very, very happy for some of my friends who are absolutely smashing it, there's like I'm watching them work really, really hard, and I'm working hard, but not going all in on what I want out of life. And I'm kind of just, it's felt like I've kind of recently just been waiting for something great to happen, like waiting to win the lottery, but I never put the lottery on. Like almost like one of those, like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
just
one
waiting for
day,
something to come along, yeah, and just
yeah, like something.
improve your life. Yeah, I'm like
Exactly,
that at the
something's
minute.
just going to happen, and I'm just going to wake up one day. Someone's going to hand me a gold envelope and go, "Well, hey, your life is everything you've ever wanted it to be." But probably similar to Dean. I don't necessarily know, but like, um, I want to sort out my own place properly. I want to get back to a level of life that I should have based on what I've previously had. Um, I'm still really lucky that I have a really good job. So that enables me to maybe if I stop going out as much, even just going for food, like, even just going for food is 40, 50 quid. But I'm doing that like 3 times a week. Or
Yeah.
I'm going out for a beer, or I'm just making really short term decisions at the moment versus making decisions that really set me up for the life that I ultimately want. So I was off today, and I've started a bit of a life plan of what my life looks like, and maybe once I have finished that plan and sort of how I'm going to get there, we could talk about it one episode, because I think that would be maybe helpful for people in terms of how I've planned. But I'd rather do it once I've started because it's so easy to talk about what you want to do, and
A
it's
day in the
really
life of.
a day in the life
This is
of
how I
what I
start my.
want.
This is how I start my morning.
I start my morning at
Need,
4:30,
one of them, like, yeah.
and I go for a walk, and then I go for a run, and then I have a cold shower, and then I have fresh salmon that I caught from a local river myself with my bare hands because I fought a bear, and then I went into the office and
Had a wank.
what do you say? Have a wank? Not in the
There's
office.
just- yeah,
Not in the office, because you would get sacked for that.
there's a story there.
There probably is.
Rookie
A
number.
I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it off podcast.
Oh, God. Yeah, so no, I definitely want to just get back on top of my life again. I feel every so often I need to have one of these resets. Like, I have really good habits with like fitness or money or like seeing my friends or family, whatever. But I'm just really shit at keeping it all in balance. Like, really, really bad at it. I'm either all in on 2 or 3, and 2 or 3 just get dropped. So I need to get better at how I organize my time and what I want out of life. So yeah, that's ultimately where I'm at. But where I want to get to is back into a situation where, well, not even back into a situation, really into a situation where I can just have a life where I'm not worried about like the niggly things that I am at the moment. So I need to, like, you guys know some of the stuff that's going on in my life, and it's something that I can't talk about on the podcast just because it is too personal. It's not, doesn't necessarily just concern me. So apologies for that, but in time I will talk about it. And so I definitely want to get that stuff sorted, and then moving forward, just do things that make me happy more, because I think I've made so many, as I say, short-term decisions, whether it's just going out and then you feel shit the next day and then you're off your diet and you miss things because you're hungover or whatever. Just do more things that are better for making me happy versus things that I think make me happy.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't think I really answered that question greatly, but
There's just no specifics about like things you want to do. You want to go traveling?
I would love to go traveling, but having a son, as you
And
alluded
yeah,
to, makes it really hard. It does. He's nearly 2, so as he gets older, 100%, I will go traveling with him. Like, imagine taking him to an away day in the Champions League. How cool would that be? So things like that.
Just
I
a
want
better team for that, mate.
Have we ever seen him knock him in Milan?
you walked into that one night, James.
Yeah, you did.
I'll just see that as a big bite, really. So great success for me.
Great for success. I like. You will never get this. Right. So I'm on a website, and it says 250 questions to ask. Right. Funny questions to ask. And I've scrolled down to the bit that says funny questions to ask your boyfriend. So the first one.
There's only one of us. Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, it'd be.
I'll just be quiet in this one then.
I see. Louis, you just could answer all them questions.
The first question is actually, in your opinion, how long can I grow my hair? So I'll ask it.
How long could you grow your hair?
That's the question.
It'll be a naughty mullet.
I think we should just test it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Sponsor,
Like
get it
Brian
sponsored.
Look like a redneck.
Yeah, that's not a look, is it?
You ever see that guy that was
might be.
on Embarrassing Bodies? And like, his was the same. It only grew at the back, but you couldn't tell because he wore like this bandana thing, and like his hair looked perfect. But what it was it was so long that he like pushed it over at the front and then like quiffed it up. So funny, like it looks really, really good, and then he takes it off, and you're like, what the
That was
fuck?
literally Christian. Christian, right? Job, producer for everyone who's listening to the podcast. So I met Christian like 5 and a bit years ago now, and Christian, although he wears a cap on every episode, he is also a bald man, and he was really clinging on to his hair, and he won't mind me talking about it because we used to joke about it all the time, and he used to like.
I hope not.
Either way, we're talking about it, and he used to have really thin hair, and he used to grow it and like try and like cover it so bad, and it used to be so long on top, but it was literally like this, like you could see through the strands of hair. And I think there's something where when you're a bald man, you've kind of just got to get rid. You look a lot better.
Yeah, it's obvious.
It is,
You're
isn't
not
it?
fooling. You're not fooling anyone, are you?
No,
Everyone knows.
you used to are lucky with your thick, luscious hair. Well, I hope Dean goes bald. Actually, that'd be
I
a
don't
win.
think. They reckon that if you've still got your hair by the time you're 35, you'll probably keep it.
Shit,
And I'm nearly there.
you are old. Like, to be fair, is there? So, this is a good one.
I don't get weird though. These questions that you should be asking your girlfriend about your boyfriend, but where your boyfriend? I don't get it.
They're just some random ones. So,
I don't know.
for example, do you still sleep with a stuffed toy, a teddy?
No. I've
No?
just bought a naughty pillow though.
Have you?
My lass is gonna go akka when she comes back because
Oh, what's she gonna say?
I had this body pillow, but like it was just the long one, like, and she complains about how much room it takes up, and the one I've bought now is the same but on both sides, so like it goes all the way around your body.
Oh,
That's
that's a pregnancy pillow.
unbelievable. Yeah, I got one of them.
They are so comfortable, aren't they?
They're
I remember.
unbelievable.
I remember being able to sleep on one and thinking, why don't we all just have these anyway? It's like you're getting
Yeah,
hugged by the
yeah,
most comfiest little cushion ever. James, I
it's
think you should buy
unreal.
one.
It was
I
only
think
30 quid
India
or
would
something on
look for that
Amazon.
as well.
Yeah, they are way comfier
Get
than
one
just
each, and then you don't have to get anywhere near each other.
How
yeah,
much are they?
like 30 quid.
I think I got it like £30 off Amazon, and like the reviews said that it wasn't very, didn't puff up very much, but it's honestly sound. Like I'm buzzing with it, me.
Yeah, it's a great way to keep away from your missus in bed. So
Ideal because she's a kicker.
yeah, or a quilt stealer.
I do struggle to get away from India sometimes around the house. There's this story I've been telling everyone, right? In our bedroom, we've got these slidey built-in wardrobes with the mirrors on the front, right? And I was looking for these certificates of mine, and I was inside the wardrobe, like looking for these certificates, and I turn around, and India's in there with me, and she's just there, she's just smiling at me, like, and I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you
Like
doing?
she wasn't on the outside of the wardrobe looking in. She was in the wardrobe with me. So I've turned around and she's just there. She's like, every time I was walking around the house, I would just hear her little feet following me. She's like a little pet dog.
Shadow.
And she found it hilarious on Saturday telling us this story. It was funny. But she just loves you, mate.
I know.
It does get annoying though,
Understandable.
doesn't it? Sometimes you're like, just
You
give me
know
some
what?
space.
I find it hilarious. That's why I spend so much time on the toilet. To be honest, that's my getaway time, and then the rest of it, I'll just be letting her follow me around.
So another question, and you both probably have an answer to this: are aliens real?
Hope so.
100% on the.
100% they are.
Oh yeah, well, like there will be some form of life on other planets, of course. Like what if every star is a solar system and every solar system has a chance of having an Earth like ours? There's chances are there's bound to be something else, isn't there?
But do you think
100%.
they are to the level that I've spoken about, like
Yeah, I
sci-fi
think so.
movies?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
I think so.
I think it's scary to think that there's nothing else out there.
You think it's more scary to think there's nothing?
Yeah, how long is that? Like we're just a rock floating in space, the
Cold.
never-ending space, and it's literally just us.
And you're just here to work until you're 76 years old and then
That's
retire
it.
and die.
Yeah.
Fucking
Just
hell.
live for the weekend.
That sounds nice, that Dean. Like,
Fucking,
We've
I
got
tell
to
them, let the
escape
government
the
know it's fucking
matrix.
their idea.
yeah, it's a bit shit retiring so late, isn't it?
It's only getting
That's why
later and later as well.
So,
it'll be
if
it'll
you
be 80 or something.
do you feel like the government know that they exist? So, do you know how? What's the area?
51.
Area 51 in America. Do you feel like they know all about? I feel like we should get some video. We should get a video on this.
I
You
feel
guys
like,
can
you know,
talk
the
about it, and we'll watch it.
have you seen like Transformers film when
Yes.
they're like they
Oh,
use the
so good.
alien technology to backdate like the reverse engineer the alien technology, and that's how we've come up with things like cars and stuff like that. Because I just think like some of the stuff that we've come up with, like microchips and that, like on what's like made of sand and silicon, isn't it? And like how did somebody come up with that? Like that's just weird. Like so I just
Like speaking about something like not very technical at all, right? I was watching this show at work, right? And it was these guys who were building harps, and they're like, "Oh yeah, back in the whatever century, they used to use the strings built from cows' intestines.
Used to bring
They
what?
make the strings of a harp from cows' intestines, right? How do you
How do you try
how
that
do you
for the first
how do
time?
you
yeah.
see a cow and you like, I've got a fucking class idea here, lads, right? And you're just ripping out this intestine, and then you put it on a harp. They're like, "Oh, what you doing here?" And everyone's just surrounded it like, "That is angelic. That is you genius.
Yeah, who
Who
does
comes
that for
up
the
with
first
something
time?
like that?"
Yeah, that's not a thing, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's not a thing. I'm not
Have you
sure.
ever seen the Graham Hancock video about the pyramids?
No. Is it long?
Oh, no, it's only a couple of minutes, but he's talking about like how precise like the pyramids are and like how they don't know who did them.
Is this
but
the one
that's
he was on Joe
Egyptians.
Rogan?
it's one, but I don't think the one I'm talking about he's not on Joe Rogan, but he does talk about it on Joe Rogan as well.
Is it where he's presenting on stage?
Pyramids. Let's have a look.
I feel that you should share because I'm interested to watch this.
It's only
pyramids really do
4 minutes 56, but I'm not sure if this is the
Is there a
right one.
shorter version?
Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can skip it in.
I do
Are you
find
a
the pyramids super
conspiracy
interesting.
theorist?
Yeah, I am.
No, yeah,
I'm gonna.
I think it's worth watching anyways. Let me how do I do it again? Present. Share screen.
Pyramids were built are not telling the truth because we don't know. We don't know. The Great Pyramid contains a number of mysteries. The Great Pyramid, first of all, is very big. The Great Pyramid weighs 6 million tons. We can calculate that from its mass. It weighs 6 million tons. Its footprint is 13 acres. It's more than 750 feet along each side. It's 481 feet tall. More than 2.5 million individual blocks of stone were used in its construction. But it's not just big. It's really, really precise. The Great Pyramid is locked in to the cardinal dimensions of our planet. The Great Pyramid is targeted on true north within 3/60ths of a single degree. Now, no modern builder would create a large building and add onto his or her shoulders the additional burden of aligning it to true north within a fraction of a single degree. They just wouldn't get it. They wouldn't understand why it was important to do that. But something drove the builders of the Great Pyramid to go to a very great additional trouble, not only to create this massive, imposing monument, but also to lock it on to true north. And then other things, to incorporate into its dimensions the dimensions of our planet. I don't want to get too numerical or possibly even boring here, but if you take the height of the Great Pyramid and multiply it by 43,200, you get the polar radius of the Earth. And if you measure the base perimeter of the Great Pyramid accurately and multiply that measurement by 43,200, you get the equatorial circumference of the Earth. In other words, for thousands of years, through times, through dark ages, when human beings didn't even know they lived on a planet, never mind its dimensions, that monument has encoded and speaks out the dimensions of our planet on a scale of 1 to 43,200. And the scale is not random. The number 43,200 is derived from a key motion of the Earth, which is called the precession of the Earth's axis. The Earth wobbles on its axis very slowly at the rate of 1 degree every 72 years. And 43,200 is a multiple of 72. In fact, I think it's 600 times 72, but I need to double check that. But it's a multiple of 72. Check it out. So they've given us the dimensions of our planet on a scale defined by the planet itself. And that's an incredibly clever thing to do. How on earth did they do it? Where did that knowledge come from? This is why I'm forced to consider the possibility of a lost civilization in the human story. This is a work of almost, but not quite, space-age precision. It contains errors, but they are human errors for sure, but they're very tiny. The great precision, great skill, great craft. Some people will say to you, oh, the Great Pyramid was built by slaves. That is utter bullshit. No slaves were ever involved in the construction of the Great Pyramid. As far as I know, there were no slaves in Old Kingdom Egypt whatsoever. The Great Pyramid, I've climbed it 5 times. I've been in every known chamber in the Great Pyramid. It is a work of stunning artistic achievement. You're looking at the work of masters of architecture at the peak of their skill. Not an unwilling labor force, but people who gave their labor to that work with love and with care and with attention. There are blocks of stone weighing 70 tons that have been raised more than 300 feet above the ground. And we're not talking a couple of blocks, we're talking dozens of blocks of that weight. The average block weighs about 2.5 tons. It's the moving of those huge blocks of stone, their arrangement into a high precision monument, and the achievement of actually doing it, because you know, if you make a small mistake at the base, by the time you get to the summit of your 481-foot high pyramid, you don't have a pyramid, you have a corkscrew. You know, they got it all right, and nobody today can explain how they did it with the knowledge that is supposed to have been available in ancient Egypt, in the Old Kingdom, and with the tools that are supposed to have been available. And that's why I can't help feeling that we are missing some chapter from the human story.
Well, that's fucking scary, isn't it? Like I've definitely
Mad.
seen, yeah, I've definitely seen things on the pyramids before. You can't watch that and think that they were an uncivilized, uneducated race.
No.
Because I don't think people today could build pyramids.
Yeah.
We don't build anything like that today, do we?
No. You know, got us thinking before when I was talking about the Transformers film, how they used alien technology to reverse engineer it to give it, like, you know, like how Apple and Samsung are like sort of drip feeding us slight improvements on our like mobile phones each and every year. Like, how far advanced do you think the technology that they actually have to give us is? Like, because obviously it's not worth them giving it all us now,
We've
is it?
spoken this
They're
before,
just
haven't we?
sort of they're just giving us a little bit and a little bit. It's we talk about the football boot thing, you know, like now you buy a pair of football boots and the football boots by the end of the season they're ruined. Now when you used to get like the Predators, the leather ones, they used to last you like 7, 8, 9 seasons. Sometimes you only change them because you just fancied. Well, maybe not you, fucking but like the leather
A
ones
year. You get a year.
lasted
You
ages.
definitely get a year out of them, and now you get half a season out of them.
Out the leather ones, reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Money
I think
though,
you used
isn't
to
it?
get a year. Yeah.
It's money.
Yeah, well,
They build them shitter, so you buy more. And the thing is with Apple and Samsung and that, soon that's what money as well. But they're constantly improving their technology, and as soon as they release an iPhone, that is outdated.
Mm.
You know, so they're
And-
constantly like they've got things. They'll have technology which is so up to date that they probably don't have
But-
like the hardware to actually
Mm.
No,
utilize it fully.
I think that they have not just those brands. I think all like I think innovation across the world is way further forward than what is readily available for consumers. Like
Well-
military grade tech is well ahead of consumer tech. It's miles ahead. But
I think. Sorry.
I think, as you were probably alluding to, there's a challenge around if you innovate too quick, the rest of the competition, and you have the IP, you have that information that other people then don't have. It can then be replicated. So you need to drip feed it to protect your profits and
Mm.
your shareholder position. Because if you don't, and if you give it too quick and you completely revolutionize a market, you might also ruin the chance of making it really successful if it's too big of a jump. So, for example, if you look at the Apple glasses that have come out, for example, it wasn't too far ago we were looking at there was a version of that like 3 or 4 years ago, I think, and it flopped. So as technology has then improved with VR technology within consoles, they've then looked to reintroduce the glasses because they think that there's more of a consumer base wanting to purchase them. In time, I think we live in more of a VR world, but I think if one leading brand was to come out and deliver the absolute solution today, it would probably fail because it's too much of a jump. When none of us currently use VR in our day-to-day life, but until it becomes more mainstream where people do, that's when they'll look to then drop further innovation, I think.
Because I
It
think
makes sense too.
one of the points I was trying to make was maybe the football book wasn't as good a one, but say for example, like back in the day, companies used to pride themselves on making a quality product that lasted. And what they come to realize is if you make a washing machine that lasts 25 years, then that person isn't buying your washing machine from you for another 25 years. Whereas if they make a washing machine that only has a life of sort of 4 or 5 years, that customer's having to buy one regularly. So when I used to sell warranties for a company, you'd regularly speak to people and ask them how old their kitchen appliances were, and they were really old, you know, and they'd lasted a long time. And now you see people that have warranties and them they're making claim on them after 3 years, you know. So I don't think there's enough value in making quality products that last in a sustainable business model. I don't think, unless they're like really expensive. I guess I don't know, but it's better to have people coming back to you every
But it's all about
5
selling a
years.
service now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
how do you get the recurring revenue off people where you
Mhm.
get the consumer paying multiple times versus that one-off? Because
Yeah.
you can't forward plan if you only have the one-off.
Mm.
Or it's very hard to without, again, a new product line, new innovation, new technology, or entering new markets to then get that customer to come back. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's why most
It is-
businesses led on the sort of service subscription model.
Have you seen Domino's or even doing like Domino's prices now? They're like doing £12 large pizzas, £9 medium pizzas. When they've always been notorious as 30 quid a
25.
pizza, but
Yeah.
they've just got to now, haven't they? Because like we went to a local pizza shop, picked up collection deal, got a 18-inch pizza for 10 quid.
Yeah, it was crazy. It wasn't very nice, but it was a crazy price.
They all know what they're doing though. How much does a Domino's pizza cost them to make? It's got to be like less than
No.
a quid to make a pizza.
A couple of
And they're
quid, I
selling,
reckon. Yeah, 2-3
Yeah.
quid.
and they're selling it for really 13, 14 times
Remember the
the price.
50% discount? Like
Everyone
everyone
had
used
the
to get the
50%.
50%
Yeah.
student discount, but like some people wouldn't. Some people would just pay the full price, and it'd be like 50, 60 quid, like for a Domino's. Mental.
Yeah. So we've
But
gone
they
from
know
the
what they're
pyramid
doing though.
to Domino's in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but they all know what they're doing, don't they? These big companies, because everyone knows they're extortionate. But why do people keep going back and keep buying again and again and again? Because
Why do
Domino's,
you think?
I don't think it's the nicest pizza out there, but every now and again I'll fancy one,
Well,
even though I
why
can
do you
get
go
one
back?
cheaper. It's convenient, isn't it?
you buy into the brand, don't you? Like sometimes you buy into the fact that Domino's is a quality pizza. So when you don't fancy one of the like dirty ones, you're getting a quality pizza. And for the people listening, I'm doing air quotes there. I think that's the only reason I ever get one is like, oh, I'll get a better made pizza, I guess.
So is a Domino's payday weekend takeaway, and end of the month is the 18-inch for a tenner?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't. Don't really fancy a Domino's. I'd rather go Asda, get an Asda pizza.
As the
£4.
pizzas are the boy though. They're
Oh, you
unbelievable.
can get two medium pizzas and a bottle of pop for £6.
Class.
I
And
think
you get
I
cinema
think they're
ticket or
better.
something, don't you? Or a movie thing or something as
Yeah,
well.
they do deals with that as well. Yeah, but I'd rather that. I'd rather get an Indian on the payday.
I do love an Indian takeaway.
Yeah.
I
So
wish I only had takeaways on payday. I save a lot more money if I just had one takeaway on payday.
yeah, honestly, mine's ridiculous at the minute. Hang on, Dan, definitely pineapple on Lou's. We've got Dan Ray, who I'll call out here. He's grew his hair into curtains, right? And he started wearing a headband. So anyone who listens back to this, please give us your thoughts on someone wearing a headband. Dan
Does he
used to
look like
be
Sanya? Remember
no.
that Arsenal player, Sanya?
Bakary Sanya. He looks more like Bakary Sanya than anyone else that wears a headband, I'll tell you that. Looks more like Bakary Sanya than David Beckham.
Yeah, he used to have.
Or
he used to
Javinho.
have he used to have similar hair to you, James, or a short back and sides, and now he has these long blonde curtains. I'm sure he dyes his hair as well, actually, with these blonde tips. So he has blonde curtains. It is funny. He's gone from being a bit rough to and having multiple piercings as well. Actually,
Yeah, I was going to say it. Forgot about that part.
the piercings and the dyed blonde hair does make me laugh, and he's laughing away. He's probably sat here creasing, bless him. And he's under the thumb.
Rizzy. Look, he'll be sat there saying he looks Rizzy.
Yeah, he'll be looking in the mirror. I'm Rizzy.
Full of
God,
Riz.
full of Riz. That's it. Full of something rhyming with Riz.
Like that one, James.
You know about Fizz?
Fizz,
Bottle-
absolutely.
bottle-
That's what
bottle of
his
champagne or
dad's called
something.
Fizz at football.
Yeah.
Fizzy. But yeah, it was.
Wow.
This was a good catch up episode. To be fair, it's nice for us to get together. We've got a big run of guests coming up. A lot of it on female health as well. So we're gonna have to do some research, which would be great. I suppose another ask, if you're a female and you would like to come on the podcast and support us in some of these conversations, we'd be more than happy to have you help co-host some of these. We are looking for one or two female co-hosts to help with some of these conversations. Dean's just buzzing because it means that he then gets some time off, versus me telling him that he has to turn up on a Monday night, which is great. So yeah,
I like it when I'm here.
You like it when you're here.
Yeah, when I'm here, it's good.
You've now got to go to North Shields, which is like half an hour on a metro with your dog.
Nay, it's all right. Got to take him for a walk anyways. He'll be happy.
Cool. All good. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tonight. It was just a quick one to catch up on. I think we should look into things either like the pyramids or Rome or some conspiracy theories and do a watch along. And I think we should do an episode where, and listeners, feel free to give us a conspiracy theory or something to talk about and learn about, and we have to watch something on it at the beginning and talk about it, and by the end come with our conclusion what it is by the end. I think that'll be quite fun. But yes,
Get
great.
cancelled before we start.
Probably, but we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, gents, thank you very much for tonight. Thank you to all our listeners. Apologies, it was a little bit of an odd one with Dean taking us from pyramids to pizza, but it was just for us to touch base ahead of a busy few weeks with lots of important topics on men and women's health. And we will catch you next week. Thank you very much.
See
In
ya.
a bit,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.